Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, B Farm. Thinking right out here in the lab. Before I do what I do for you, I got a quick one-page lesson for you today. But hopefully it's informative. That's the main goal. That's my objective. So, right thinkers, let's do what we do. Got something nice for you. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message, message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in receiving them. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is way of life, and that's what it is. Through mental and spiritual discipline employed daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers do just that. And I got everything you need for that to happen. All you gotta do is tune in and use it. You're doing good so far. Let's go. I asked, do you know you? That's the question. And it's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in to me. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. That's okay. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know that self. And to my out, be true. I got a concept right think. Let's talk about what they call a meditative mind. I like that concept because if you're God conscious, then you're in a meditative state where you got God on your mind all the time. That's called a meditative or mindful mindset. But let's talk about the concept. First, you got the unmeditative mind, which is a distorted vision of the world due to what? Erroneous subconscious impressions of the mind. Ignorance. There's two sides you hear. Okay. The first one is a diagram of his vision. The top one is the unmeditative mind, the ignorant view, that's the distorted view of the world. The bottom is the meditative mind with the correct view of the world. So let's talk about the both. Should get through this right quick. This should be fun. It's going to lay out the differences and you'll understand. We got the distorted vision of the world due to erroneous subconscious impressions of the mind. You have an ignorant subconscious thoughts. That means you don't know, you're not thinking right. You don't know what to think. So you can't be thinking right. In your ignorant mind, the thoughts are, watch this. The vision of an ordinary person is distorted by their mental concept of reality. Again, one sees the world as composed of what? Separate things, and the mind develops what? The idea. We know about duality, but the mind says what? I want to have those things for myself. It's becoming egoistic. It wants serve it what? Myself. But not realizing what? Due to ignorance of self, that there is really no end to the craving, nor is there any reality behind the desire. There has been what? Nothing in the world, listen, nothing in the physical world that has substantiated our human wants. Yet what? We continue to grasp at the illusions in this what we call material world. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So we have senses in the body that we have to use to keep us going. Well, we can't live off the senses. Why? They don't always do what they need to. That's why. So if you're ignorant mind, this is your thoughts. This is a thought process of an ignorant minded person. You have passion, uncontrolled emotions. Every chance you get upset, you're argumentative, you do a whole bunch of stuff that's really not right. But you think it is. This is you. Now watch this. I tell you, the ego means edging God out. Remember that. Every time you hear the word ego, watch what the ego is. Here we go. So you have desires for what? Objects of the world. I want this, I want that, the big house, fancy car, all the materialistic stuff. This is what the ignorant minded person sees in the world to satisfy your cravings. You want things thinking that's going to make you happy, and some people do. And watch this to satisfy your craving and cause what? Emotional, or excuse me, mental agitation. Your personal expectations of yourself. If your dreams to be a pro football player and you don't reach that dream, you probably think yourself as a failure. Okay, that's the ignorant sighted person. Okay, a distorted vision of yourself. Now you got that about the world. Watch this. Here we go. An ignorant minded person, ego, watch this, works on their ego sense, meaning I am what? An individual, not connected to anything or anyone. I am separate. I, entity, no God. That's why the ego is, like I explained you, edging God out. If you're thinking about yourself, you're not God conscious. Simple. Now, the world of objects, which people name and forms appear what? Separate and dual. And the world got that duality. But when you choose objects in the world and think that's going to bring you happiness, contentment, we already know that don't work. But we still, over and over again, I tell you the story about the mouse in the maze. When he go down one route and he gets shot, you can cut off every route he got and he won't go back that one. Why? He already knows what's at the end of that one. See? So that's common sense from a mouse. Now, let's talk about a correct vision of the world person due to what? Cleansed subconscious impression. You gain knowledge. You practice a philosophical point of view, aka right thinking, and watch this. A correct subconscious thought, you see what? Pure mind and thoughts. Right thinking, right thoughts. Right thoughts, right actions. Passion, watch this. Your passion is gone for worldly things. You are content with what? Because you realize you are and have everything. You are one with the God. When you become conscious of that, a lot of stuff really ain't that important. I've come to realize that too. This is why you say, oh, the wise men, they die broke. No, they just don't accumulate a whole bunch of stuff. I get it now. I understand. Okay. Now watch this. A person with correct vision, watch this. A meditative mind. Your desire for objects is gone. Why? Because they are really are no objects. Only what? The universal bond, which is the spirit. We know that's God. Here we go. Your ego sense is now what? Transcended. One sees what? All things as one's self. Thus, one experiences unity with all things, becoming one with the one. Everything's come from the one. So understand that. When you're spiritually inclined, you have that understanding. If you're ignorant of your spiritual self, you don't know that. Last part. The world now, watch this, appears as truly as one ocean of what? Existence, but non-dual what? Because God is one thing, and after him, everything is paired up. That's the concept. That's the lesson. Let me give you right now the meditative mind. Mind as matter may be transmuted, watch this, from state to state, degree to degree, condition to condition, pole to pole. These are laws of opposite correspondence and vibration to vibration. Transmutation is, listen, transmutation is a mental art. Okay? Got a little paragraph to read for you right quick. Then we be out of here. Right here. Now watch this. Now the most important quality to develop is what? A meditative mind, aka become God conscious. You hold yourself spiritually disciplined to do what's right. That's what's important. And this is not to be what? Thought of as what? Only the mind of what? A person that sits in a state of deep catatonic meditation. Some guys, you see, they're going to a meditative state. It's not just for them, but a person who what? Who, while he or she is involved in the affairs of the world, meaning living life all the time, knows what's this? His or her true identity, aka know thyself. This is the mind that what? That interacts with every mind interacts with every moment of existence, unlike what? The previously discussed automatic mind, the instinctive mind, that animal mind, that base level mind. This quality represents the vision of who? Haru, your higher self, which is the vision to be what? Regained. In a sense, people living, watch this, in the ancient societies, such as that in Egypt and in India, would not have needed to practice what? Formalized forms of meditation. Why? As much as today. Why? This is because then knowledge of the existence of God and the gods were not an object of speculation, but it was inherent in the very fabric of the culture. They didn't have choices. They didn't have options. This is what they did. This is what they followed. And it lasted for them as a society for over 3,000 years of being peace and harmony. We ain't got 5 minutes of peace and harmony nowhere. So, big difference. And watch this. Spirituality, not religion, was an inseparable part of their practical life. I tell you, right thinking philosophy is not something you practice. No, you live it, you manifest it. That's what they did in ancient times. That's what I'm practicing to show you how it's done. I'm letting you know this is how it's done. Watch this. So therefore, what? Their minds would be what? Constantly thinking about and accommodating what? Divinity, regardless of their activities. Again, staying God conscious or Christians prayed up, but keep God in the mix. I was told, well, everybody want to talk about God all the time. I was told by my pastor, best friend, Brother Wright, whenever you want to talk about God, call me. We talk every day. So this attitude, watch this, in itself constitutes what? A meditative state of mind. You're working at a high level. You already knowing and thinking what? God first, spiritual discipline, doing the right thing. Why? Because they know that set the ego will grab you. And watch this. Now, a similar technique of spiritual discipline, there we go, enjoined by what? Modern day spiritual perceptors, watch this, is called mindfulness. I told you that's what the Buddhists called it. I get it. And wherein what? Wherein one maintains what? A sense of one's divine essence when at every moment while performing one's daily task. Sounded being God conscious to me. Trying to become. Breathing, proper walking, proper rest, or even while what? Answering nature's call. You think God even when you sitting on the toilet or doing your business. Why? God should be present with you all the time. He is. He ain't going nowhere. You got to be conscious of that. And that's what to keep you accordingly acting with virtue, doing the right thing, because you know you're being watched. And also, watch this, known as what? the development of the witness, the all-seeing. He sees everything you do. This technique aids the spiritual aspect, right thinker, in what? In developing and expanded awareness aside from what? Your common waking consciousness, aka the masses who just go along, so they don't think much of you guys. Through this practice of right thinking philosophy, the soul, what happened? Separates itself from what? The ego personality. By what? Putting it in the subservient position, putting it in the position where it will work for him. It ain't running the show. So you separate yourself from the ego personality and what? Obtain what? Self knowledge knowledge of who? Itself. Through what? Identification with itself instead of with the body, mind, and the sense perceptions. Meaning, don't think of yourself as the body, the five senses. Raise the consciousness. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. The human is the five senses. Raise it. Last one, and wrap it up with this. Egyptian proverb. He who grasps the spiritual truth of nature, of mental, he who grasps the spiritual truth of the mental nature of the universe is well advanced where? On the path to what? Self-mastery, aka right thinkers, that's you. Stay on that path, reach the level of Nihas. Stay tuned. I got more for you. I'll help you do it. That's what I do for you. I'll be back. Oh, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, and me 100 minus a day, so I never know that right thinker like you had passed away in memory of my dude, Frankie Crocker.